Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. Um, the uh, the video that I'm about to show you um, is something that is going to totally blow your mind. Okay. Um, I mean, sometimes when I do research and I go online, I try to put stories together of stuff that's going on. Okay. And then there's always something else that pops up that just makes the content I put together or the video, when I'm looking for information, just makes it even more mind-boggling, at least to me. Okay, that it makes you have to sit back and you have to start thinking, what exactly is it that the left and the powers that be have over their voters, that their voters can look at them and say, okay, it's all right what you're doing, but then also at the same time convince them that the smallest thing on the opposite side of the aisle is one of the biggest things that cannot go unpunished. Okay, I don't know if you guys are understanding what I'm saying, but I mean, the best way for me to describe this is, okay, like I've been saying for so long, I've been saying it for nearly a year, well, actually a year now, because my channel's over a year old. Okay, that the left, they eat themselves. They don't care about nobody. They don't care about Americans. They don't care about illegals. They just only care about power. Power, money, money, power, power. That's it. Okay. Now, I don't know if anybody's heard, but there's like there's like one video in particular that's going viral, okay, especially on X, of a food stamp receipt that was picked up by somebody after supposedly an illegal migrant finished shopping. They left the receipt in the store, and the clerk looked at the receipt and was just in shock of what they saw. And we're going to get into that, and I'm going to show you. But that's not even, in my opinion. I mean, that is a big deal. That is a big deal. But I just came across something, another video doing that research, that I found even more mind-boggling. That, like I said, it makes me wonder, like, how does the left keep control of their voters? Okay, number one, how do they keep control of illegals? Because the video that I'm going to show you after all this is just something that I looked at and I was just like, there's no way, this is just impossible. Okay, but with that being said, I just want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around, and if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. Also, a couple of quick things. If you can help with my friend Josie and Loza Alexander, I'm leaving links in the description to help them with their Give, Send, Go and GoFundMe campaigns. That's one thing. Another thing that's very important, I am about 300 hours short of reaching 4,000 hours in order to get fully monetized. So to all my family out there, if you can watch as much of the videos as you can, hopefully we can get those 300 hours in this week, and YouTube will take it from there, and that'll be the next step of getting monetized, which would be great, okay, to keep the channel going, definitely. So don't forget, okay, you can pass it around. Okay, so with all that being said, the video that I'm going to show you is by Anton Daniels. Okay, there's a link in the description to his channel. He put this out, okay, 3 days ago. Okay, Now, there's a couple of key things. I'm not going to show the whole video, just the first few minutes of this woman, who is the one that came across. I believe it was her friend that came across the receipt that was left at the store of, like I said, an illegal migrant with food stamps. And you're going to be amazed of what you see. But stay tuned, because there's a lot more that I need to show you. But with that being said, let's check this out, and please, people, pay attention, because this is just incredible. I mean, it's just totally incredible. But here we go.
Common Sense 101. I got your big reason why you better not vote for Kamala Harris. This ex-post made me so mad I almost threw the phone across the room. I need a goody powder because I have a headache. Why is it this illegal alien, this so-called migrant from Venezuela, left a receipt at the cash register in one of the New York City bodegas?
I got the receipt. I'm going to show you the receipt. Actually, you know what? Let me just show you the receipt right now. I didn't know what her reaction was going to be, but I definitely pulled up the receipt. So this was the receipt, and this is what's going viral on the internet right now. It said, my friend was behind a Venezuelan woman in line at a store, and the woman left the receipt, which is not abnormal. People don't want to take their receipts. I don't always take my receipt with me either. Even when I go to the bank, I just give it back to the teller and say, hey, can you get rid of this for me? Look at this S right here. I can't get EBT and look at the cash balance. We'll let them tell us it's no help though. The cash balance, if you look at that right now, the cash balance, the EBT cash balance is $4,400. The food stamp balance is $13,000.
Okay, now I'm going to stop it right there. Because if you think this is pissing you off, people, right now, there is more that's going to piss you off. And like I said, keep watching to the end, because what I'm going to show you is something that you're really going to look at, and you're just going to be like it's going to, I mean, I don't know if people ever get headaches for like the slightest things, but I mean, this is something that, you know, you got to take your two fingers and just, you got to press that vein on the side of your temple, you know, while this vein is popping this way and just throbbing, and you just like, what the hell is going on? But okay, so supposedly this receipt was left behind. Okay, it says the food stamp balance up here, the EBT balance is like $13,000. The EBT cash balance is like $4,000. The date, I'm looking at this sideways, people, it's not like I'm going crazy, but the date here is July 31st, 2024. Okay, now I know people that have been on food stamps before, and I was always curious when they would go shopping and stuff like that. And a few times I asked just to find out, and I usually got the same response. And the question that I would ask them is, what happens if you don't use your food stamps, like all of your food stamps, like the first month? They would say it carries over. A few times I asked, you know, when I asked the same question, people would tell me, well, it carries over, but if you accumulate too much, they'll stop until you use up all, you know, the food stamps that they've given you. Which some people told me that you shouldn't let that happen, because then it's like a red flag to the Food Stamp Administration, because they think that if you're not spending all that food stamp money, that you're up to no good. You're doing something on the side, you're making heavy cash on the side, whatever the case is. I don't know, but that's what I was told. So let's just say that is the case right now. Okay? Let's just say that this person has not used up all their food stamps. How much food stamps can you get in a month where you can accumulate $13,000 in food stamps? And it's not even about how much are they giving you for you to accumulate that. There's a lot of questions to that. Is like, how big is your family? How many kids do you have? Where exactly do you live? Like, you know, these questions go on and on. Like, who gets that much in food stamps? Okay? And I do know some people that get food stamps. Okay? Not recently. Thank God. To me, that tells me that, you know, things are getting better for them. But people that I do know, they would also get cash on the side. Okay? But it was on the card. So now I'm looking at this and what they're saying, and it says the cash balance on the EBT card is $4,000. So I'm looking at this like, wow, like, who gets this? Okay? Because the people that I know that have gotten food stamps, they've never bragged about getting this amount, anything close to this. Okay, and I'm talking people that have families. Never once did I ever hear anybody bragging about food stamps. If anything, they would say they would not get enough in food stamps. Okay? Now, I just feel that this is as much as you need to see in this video, because all the rest of the video is going to show this woman that's very upset, very irate. Okay? And like I do when I do a reaction on content that I get from somebody else, I'm going to say it also. I do follow this guy's channel. I'm not trying to take away all his juice. There's a link in the description. You guys want to check out the rest, go right ahead. Okay? But what I'm going to show you next, now, mind you, if you guys can see this on your screen, it says July 31st, 2024. Okay? July 31st, 2024. Supposedly, this is in New York. Okay? Now, I just seen this video yesterday. But I did see a video a couple of days ago, and as soon as I seen this one yesterday, I should say last night, the other video popped in my head, and I was like, wait a minute, I got to go back to that. Okay, because something wasn't adding up. Okay, now I'm going to show you that video, and I'm going to show you something else I found on X. I'm telling you, people, this is crazy. This is crazy. So pay attention. Here we go. Okay, so when I seen that video by Anton Daniels, it sparked my memory about a video that I seen a few days ago watching some content from Forbes. And here is Eric Adams. Now this was put out 5 days ago. Okay? From Forbes. And look at the date, July 31st, 2024. The food stamp receipt is July 31st, 2024. Here is Eric Adams in New York talking about illegals and food stamps. Check this out.
The new mayor,
How are you?
you sort of touched base on what's going on in the city and what you required. Here's my question, and I think it lends to a lot of misunderstanding with the people.
Yes.
What are the services that the migrants are receiving from the city right now?
Love it. That's probably one of the top questions we receive at every town hall. And I hear all the time, they are getting more than what long-term New Yorkers are getting. First of all, I wanted to lay out the foundation that I have no control on what they are getting and not.
Did you guys just catch what he said? Let me rewind this. We're going to go back. It's only 38 seconds. Listen to the question and listen how he starts answering the question. Pay attention. Here we go.
Good afternoon, Mayor.
How are you?
You sort of touched base on what's going on in the city and what you required. Here's my question, and I think it lends to a lot of misunderstanding with the people.
Yes.
What are the services that the migrants are receiving from the city right now?
Love it. That's probably one of the top questions we receive at every town hall. And I hear all the time, they are getting more than what long-term New Yorkers are getting. First of all, I wanted to lay out the foundation.
Did you hear that? They are getting more than what long-term New Yorkers are getting. Supposedly, that is what people are saying. That they're getting more than what long-term, they're getting more than what, basically what New Yorkers taxpayers are getting. Okay? So now he's going to try to put the spin on it. Okay? Stay with me, people. Never mind the first video I showed you about the receipts. Okay, that receipt. But listen to what he says. Let's continue.
Foundation that I have no control on what they are getting and not. I have to follow the law. Second, people say, okay, well, this.
He says he has no control of that, but he has to follow the law. But wasn't it him that came up with the plan to give people debit cards, illegals debit cards? That was his baby. That was his plan. Okay, and it was put into fruition. Now, what's one of the things that people have been complaining about? Taxpayers, it doesn't matter, New York, Chicago, whatever the case is about why are you taking taxpayer money? Why are you cutting funding on certain programs just so you could keep feeding and keep housing and keep giving all these illegals services when the taxpayers are the ones that are suffering? You won't stop the government or go against the government to come out and say, like the Biden administration, say, listen, please shut the border. You won't go against your party to do that, but you'll go and take the money and cut services for the people that are paying taxes, okay? And now certain things are coming to light, and now you're going to come out and say, I have no control of that. Really? Okay. I love the way he starts to stutter. Let's go.
That I have no control on what they are getting and not. I have to follow the law. Second, people say, okay, well, they're staying in 5-star hotels. No, they're staying in tents. Thousands, restrooms are outdoors. Their showers are outdoors. We pay on average $11 a day for 3 meals for them.
He says that people are saying that the illegals are staying in 5-star hotels, and he's saying no. How is he going to say no when for the past few years that's all they've been showing from different aspects, different videos, people showing these videos. All you hear on the news is in this hotel there was a migrant stabbing, in this shelter there was a migrant stabbing or a fight, or they're not talking about migrants having brawls outside in their tents. So right here, he's over here saying, no, that's not, basically that's not true, and they're taking showers outside. I have yet to see a video of any migrants taking a shower outside. I mean, man, this is, I tell you people, if my laptop wasn't so expensive, I mean, I come across this stuff and it just makes me want to punch the shit out of my laptop. I tell you right now, but so now he's over here saying that let me go back, that they're giving $11 a day for 3 meals. Oh man, this is great. Pay attention.
Outdoors, we pay on average $11 a day for 3 meals for them. For 3 meals. They get the basic services. They're not eligible for what everyday New Yorkers are eligible for. They're not eligible for our WIC. They're not eligible for our vouchers program.
That is such a crock of shit. That is such a crock of shit. I tell you, these people are evil and wicked. He is standing in front of these people saying that illegals are not eligible for that. Everybody knows that they're getting food stamps. Everybody knows that they're getting health care benefits. How can he stand there and say that? And besides, not even that. Who the hell can survive on $11 for 3 meals a day? Okay? As a matter of fact, there was another video, and I couldn't come across it when I was putting this together, which came out a few months ago when this whole thing started with the debit cards that they were giving the migrants. He said that they were not liking the food that was being served to them, so the reason why they came up with that program was so like that they can take it and go buy food to their liking. Okay? Which I think that every American would like to do the same. I mean, shit, I would like a couple of steaks a week and maybe a couple of lobster tails, but, I don't qualify, But for him to come out in front of these people, and what really gets me is that this room is so quiet. The people in this room are so quiet, it just shows the ignorance, the complacency, okay? The double standard. I mean, how these people can stay so reserved and not throw all this bullshit back in his face is beyond me. But let's continue.
They're not eligible for all those items. And so you saw the newspaper story that says, okay, Eric is giving them credit cards to buy food. No, here's what we were doing. We found a company called Mokify. Mokify said to us, when I was on the campaign trail, I learned about them. And Mokify said to us, people are not eating the food that they're wasting the food, that we're spending money on buying. They said, we can give people a food card only that they can go in, instead of you spending millions and billions of dollars from a out-of-town entity to bring food into your city, you could get this card, $11.50 per day per person, and they can go into the local stores and restaurants and buy the money locally so the money would stay in your community. This is gonna save you $600,000 a month, over $7 million a year, and you're gonna cut down on food waste so we're not wasting money.
Okay, let me stop it right there. And I did a video on this of how that they cut back on a lot of services to allocate millions, tens of millions of dollars, okay? But yet this program was only going to cost the New York taxpayers $600,000, and supposedly by them giving the illegal migrants that kind of money, that they will be able to put it back into the community. So my question when I did the video a few months ago was, so then why is the bill in the billions of dollars? You're saying that you're only dishing out a couple of 100,000, maybe a couple of million, but then why is it costing taxpayers in New York billions of dollars? Okay? Now let's just say, for instance, that it is true that they're only spending 600,000, whatever the case is, on just food. So that will mean if they're spending billions of dollars, then it is true that they're paying for other services, which is probably what? The hotels, giving some of them tents, all the scooters that people in New York are talking about, that all these illegals are mysteriously popping up with. Okay? It baffles your mind how he can stand there in this town hall meeting and just try to put a spin on it. And it's like, how do you change the story? How do you go and push the goalposts back again? This is what I'm saying, that the Democrats eat themselves. They contradict themselves over, and not that they contradict themselves on something small. This is something big. This is massive. This is not $600,000. You're talking billions of dollars that have been spent. You're talking millions of dollars that have been taken from services that are rightly due to taxpayers in New York, that were taken away from them to allocate to give more to the migrants. Okay? And he's going to sit here and say, well, I have no control of that. So if you had no control of that, you just said that you came across somebody that approached you while you was on the road to come up with, with this plan. So how do you have the control to come out and say, okay, let's look into this, but you have no control of exactly what? The money itself? And if you have no control of the money itself, as the mayor, if you're trying to collect millions and millions of dollars in order to help whatever entity take care of the illegal migrants, shouldn't you be questioning the books? Shouldn't you be questioning every damn penny that is being spent? Come on, people. Come on. The last video that I put out, somebody already left a message saying that I put out lies, that illegals are not allowed to vote, everything's lies, is all BS. It just freaking blows my mind how you leftists cannot look at this. You're going to say that the content that I'm putting out, that I'm getting from other sources, that it's bullshit, but you cannot look at what this man is saying and that what he's saying is bullshit. It's incredible. Let's listen to some more. I got a lot more to show you. Here we go.
People yelled in the beginning, but now the editorial board of the Daily News saying right on to what y'all doing. We're saving money. We are putting that money, instead of our money going to some place out of our state and city and communities, people are now walking into the local bodegas, the local restaurants, and they're buying right there on the ground where you could hire locally. And that is how we have to deal with this crisis. We have to find smart ways. And then we said to the migrants and asylum seekers, you got 30 days. You come in, you're a single adult, you got to find your way like every other person that came to this country. In 30 days, we're going to give you intense care. We're going to give you information. We're going to be like the settlement houses of yesteryears, and we're going to show you how to move through the system. But you can't stay here forever. We got a lot of pushback. People took us to court. People called me names. They said I'm inhumane. 30 days. 30 days. When we did that, 65% of the people were able to go find their own way.
Oh, man. Wow. 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 People. Listen, he just says something else that I find incredible. He says that by them doing what they're doing and all that money going back where people could spend it into the restaurants, he used the word hiring. They're hiring more people. I haven't heard of that. Nobody's heard of that. Nobody is saying that the money that they're giving all these illegals, that they're spending that money in the communities, which is helping the community businesses grow, and they're hiring more people. When has anybody heard that? Now they're saying that basically, now what he's saying is that basically, we take taxpayer money from you, your hard-earned money, we cut services that should rightly go to you, okay? Sanitation, police, all that shit. We give the money to illegals who are here illegally, that broke the law, they're here illegally. In turn, they'll spend that money, take it back into the neighborhoods, spend the money in restaurants and stores and all that, which in turn, the restaurant owners and store owners take that money and then they can go and hire more people. But yet, he just said, at the end of that within 30 days, by them telling illegals you can't stay here forever, 65% have went their way. So how exactly is all this working? If 65% have left, God only knows where they're at. So that means that 65% of the money that you have given them is out of the equation. Okay? But you're still collecting tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, and you're only giving a small portion, supposedly to the illegals, so they can eat and spend money in the restaurant. You see this? You see it, this fucking circle is a circle jerk. That's exactly what it is. It is one of the biggest Ponzi schemes, and it's not happening in New York. And I said this months ago. Okay. Especially in Chicago, and I'm going to show you something else, okay? Because this is not just happening in New York, okay? Supposedly, another receipt popped up, okay? I'm not even going to finish this video because you guys just go on Forbes, look it up. It came out 5 days ago. I mean, it's just sickening to listen to this man. It really is, okay? But I'm going to show you something else that I found on X, and then I'm going to give you guys the cherry on top of all this. Then when I seen it, I was just like, it's incredible. It's totally incredible. It just makes no sense how the left can keep control of people, okay, and make people believe the shit that comes out of their mouth as if they care about Americans and or anybody else from around the world. Here we go. Okay, people, so I tried to get that original video because it was on X, but I couldn't. That's why I took the video clip from the last content creator. But I punched in food stamp fraud on X, okay, and this came up. Now I'm going to hover over this to try to edit the image to make, well, I can't really do it that way. Hold on 1 second, okay, people? Let me see where it says to zoom in. I've seen it before. Excuse me. Give me a second. Right here, magnify. Now this is in Chicago. Now I showed you the receipt of New York. Okay, this is in Chicago. This is El Yunque Food Liquor Incorporated. El Yunque is Spanish. Now it says 1300 North California Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Okay. The receipt is April 4th, 2024. An EBT Okay, beginning balance $11,545.71. Food stamp purchase $10.92. Food stamp end balance $11,534.79. Cash balance $5.11. Results approved. Retail copy. This was put out, I believe, by Goofies of Chicago. Now I don't know, in all honesty, and it says food stamp purchase. I don't know if this is fake. I don't know if it's a parody. I'm reading all the comments here of people being very upset, but look at the date, April 4th. Look at the balance. This is if this is true, this is in Chicago. And I did videos months ago about how Chicago, just like New York, is allocating money, taking money from the taxpayers, okay, from services, to give more to the illegal migrants. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, this receipt and the receipt from the video I just showed you in New York, it doesn't say illegals. Okay, so if anybody wants to get on me on that, it's true. I agree with you. All we have is what one woman said. And all we got is what this one says, and it says, look at this receipt from a liquor store here in Chicago with a balance of more than $11,000 in food stamps. This receipt is not the one that was going viral earlier this week. It's a different receipt. Make sure you work extra hours to pay for this BS. The illegals will appreciate it. Now, I have to look at this receipt. If it's true, I have to say, you know what? A Yunque food and liquor store, it has to be a Spanish grocery store or liquor store, whatever the case is. And Yunque is usually Mexican term. I don't know what Yunque means. Just look it up. But it just makes you wonder. Now, I want to go back to something else I said in my last video about when I was in Arkansas. Okay, when I was in Arkansas, like I said, if you go to all these Mexican supermarkets and you see all these people from South America and stuff like that, you will see them using EBT cards, and they will have shopping carts, 2 or 3 full of food. Okay, I'm talking pounds and pounds of meat, steak, all kinds of shit. Okay, and I'm looking at all this like, wow, you know. And I'll be honest with you, I used to go shopping there only because the meats were cheap, until I started catching on, and I was like, this place, because there was other races there. But when I started really paying attention, I was like, wait a minute. There is no way these people are paying for all this in cash. Okay? There's no way. Until I started really paying close attention to people using debit cards, and I'm like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at an EBT card and be like, wait a minute. That's food stamps. Like, everybody here is walking out with shopping carts of food. And it's not cheap. So it makes you wonder, like, how much exactly is New York, Chicago, Little Rock, Arkansas, all these places giving all these illegals in food stamps? I mean, because like I said, I've never heard of anybody that I know, that Americans, I should say, that had food stamps, brag about, man, I'm getting $11,000 in food stamps. First of all, how the fuck did you eat that much? There is no way you can eat that much food. There's no damn way. I mean, you gotta be, even if you, listen, man. Even if you save your food stamps, okay, I cannot fathom. If you're getting money, if you're getting food stamps every single month, now is it a possibility that they say, well, you know what, that is for the whole year? Yes, but we all know that's not the way food stamp works. They don't give you one lump sum. They give you food stamps every month. Now, sometimes, if you're waiting on food stamps, they might say, well, that's all retro. No, I don't think so. I've done my homework. I've asked a lot of people. When you sign up for food stamps, they really don't make you wait that long. You're lucky if you got to wait 30 days. I mean, there have been some instances where people had to wait because something wrong with the paperwork. But supposedly, from what I was told, 9 out of 10 times, they give you emergency food stamps until the regular food stamps kick in, because if you're hungry, they're trying to feed you. But I ain't never heard of nobody getting thousands of dollars in food stamps. I mean, look, man, I'm calling bullshit on all this. I'm calling bullshit on New York. I'm calling bullshit on Chicago. Okay? And this is just now, and more of these are going to come out. And I'm going to tell you guys what, okay? Anybody leaves a receipt, that's public. That becomes public domain. You drop a receipt, I mean, there's really nothing on it that could, that can get somebody in trouble as far as like stealing their identity and stuff like that. But people, please, if you come across these receipts, man, you need to expose this, because if these officials are lying, if these officials are truly giving these illegal immigrants thousands of dollars in food stamps per month, what the hell is going on? And then on top of that, if the food stamps are part of a government service, then why the hell are these governors and mayors asking for taking and allocating billions of dollars of taxpayer money? Where's that money going? Okay? Because it's not like they're taking that money and exchanging it for food stamps and giving it, you know what I'm saying, giving it to people. No, those are two separate entities. The food stamp department and whatever money, those are two separate entities. One is not paying off the other, one is not cashing in and exchanging the money for that. Everybody knows that. Those are two separate entities. So where exactly is the cash money going? Okay? Questions that need to be asked. And this is why I get upset with Republicans, because if this is true, why aren't the Republicans, I mean, like, seriously jumping on this shit? Seriously jumping on it. Time will tell. We'll see. But I'm flabbergasted with all this bullshit. So here you go. I just showed you this, showed you the last video, and I'm telling you, I can't make this stuff up, people. I cannot make this up of what I'm about to show you. Okay? The only reason why I came across it is because they said it takes place in my hometown. That is taking place, and when I looked at it, I was like, "What the hell's going on?" And it just left me like, I mean, that I can't. There's no words for it. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. Now, what caught my eye in this, I'm going to go back. This was 5 months ago. Okay, what caught my eye looking at all this? You'd be surprised when you punch in certain keywords, stuff pops up. And I wasn't even looking for this, but it just popped up with the other feeds that I was looking for. And what caught my eye when it said Fordham Road. I grew up on Fordham Road in the Bronx, okay? When I was a kid, and I mean, Fordham, anybody knows the Bronx, you gotta know Fordham Road. So when I seen this, it said Fordham Road street vendors facing thousands in fines. And I'm like, man, let me check this out. Because if there's one thing I know, there are a lot of street vendors and food vendors on Fordham Road. As a matter of fact, growing up as a kid, my parents used to own hot dog stands, okay, on Fordham Road. I kid you not, the Sabrett hot dog stands, they made a lot of money. My father would go to work. You know, he was a boiler mechanic, and he let my mother run it, and we ran it in the summertime. And running around as kids, you know, my mother hated it, because whenever I would run around with the kids in the neighborhood, we were hungry, we would always go to the damn hot dog stand and get free hot dogs and soda. My mother hated it, but it is what it is. You know, it was good times. So I put this on, you know, to watch it, and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Listen to this, people. I'm gonna play this. Listen to this. This is why I said that the Democrats don't give a shit about anybody. Here we go.
For the last few months, CBS 2 News has been speaking with street vendors in the Bronx about making the permit system more fair and equitable as they face mounting fines from the Department of Sanitation. One vendor reached out to CBS 2's Bronx community reporter Shosh Bedrosian about the thousands of dollars that he now has to pay off in fines.
Bronx resident Floriberto Diaz and his family are preparing dozens of tamales for a busy day on Fordham Road.
Tenemos que cocinarlo en la noche. 3 de la mañana, se tarda uno preparando mucho.
Diaz is one of the hundreds of vendors that sells in the area because he legally can't work anywhere else. Like many of them we've covered here on Fordham Road, he's currently feeling the burden of DSNY enforcement sweeps.
So right now it's $6,000.
Yep, you heard that correctly. Diaz is facing $6,000 worth of tickets he received in just 1 month from DSNY. He says it would take...
Okay, I'm gonna go back, people. Oh my God. Oh man, it's fucking crazy. This is crazy. Listen to this. Here we go.
Bronx resident Floriberto Diaz and his family are preparing dozens of tamales for a busy day on Fordham Road.
Tenemos que cocinarlo en la noche, 3 de la mañana, se tarda uno preparando mucho.
Diaz is one of the hundreds of vendors that sells in the area because he legally can't work anywhere else. Like many...
Did you hear that? He is one of many vendors who cannot work legally. What does that mean? He is an illegal immigrant. So he goes out there to sell food, okay? And the city, the same officials that let these illegals come in, want to fine him $6,000. People, you can't make this shit up. When I seen this, when it said Fordham Road street vendors facing thousands of fines, I figured, you know, Americans, people, because there's people out there that sell a lot of stuff. No, it's the illegals. They cannot find work. They cannot work legally. So they go and start selling food. God only knows how this man has so many different spots to sell food. Maybe he's buying all that shit with the fucking food stamp money. And then the city is going to come down on him and fine him. Never mind the single gun, two double barrels, baby. Bam! Man. This is incredible. People, you can't make this up. Here it is, CBS. This came out 5 months ago. Says it right here, CBS News 5 months ago. How? How, people, how? How in the world do the Democrats have a hold, never mind on illegals, on Americans to keep voting for them? For this, you can't explain it. How does this happen? How do you let millions of people into the country illegally, open up your arms and say, we're a sanctuary city, okay, we're going to give you thousands of dollars in all kinds of services, but yet this man, and I'm sure there's many, okay, they can't work legally, so they go out and start selling stuff, okay, food and whatever the case is, you see it here, vegetables, food, whatever. But then the same officials that said, come on in, we're a sanctuary city, turns around and says, now fuck you, now you gotta pay fines. Thousands of dollars in fines. Whew, man, I tell you. And you have people on TV like Joy Reid, Joy Behar, Kamala Harris, Harry Sisson, and the list goes on and on and on saying, oh man, Dad, I don't know, things like, if you don't vote for Biden, you ain't black, Donald Trump's a dictator, people on the right are crazy and Nazis, people on the left is the way to be, you gotta vote blue. I mean, like I said, double barrel shotguns, baby, bang bang, done. Because it and I'm not advocating anything like that. What I'm saying is that it's just, you know, it's what makes your head just like, how? Who comes up with this shit? How does that work? Why? Is the biggest question. Why? You let them in, you say that you care about them, and then they'll spin it around and say the reason why they can't work legally is because the Republicans don't want to give them a pathway to citizenship. But no. This is the, let me get my words straight. This is what you get when you vote Democrat. That's as plain and simple as I could put it. This is what you get when you vote Democrat. Just a big old circle jerk. It's a big old clusterfuck. That's why I said the Democrats, never mind that they don't care about Americans, never mind that they don't care about illegals or people around the world, they do not care about humanity. That puts everybody under that umbrella. They don't care. But yet, you have people like AOC, and I did a video on that months ago, how she went to Chile, the country, not the restaurant, okay, to speak to those socialists, those communists, about how to better their economy, their populace. And she's from the Bronx. Incredible. Incredible. Wow, anyway, I'm done. That's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around, give it a thumbs up, please. You guys did great on the last channel. It was all green to this day. The views, the duration, everything. Thank you so much. If you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. I need the extra 300 and some odd hours so like that I could get monetized, guys. Let's try to do this week, people, my family. Also, I'll leave a link. Links in the description if you can help out Loza Alexander and my friend Josie with their Give, Send, Go and GoFundMe campaign. Yeah, this is it's incredible. I wish I can do this full time. Because going to work and breaking my ass, okay, I mean, this stuff is all over the place. Like I said, I can do this all day long and just put out 3, 4, 5 videos because, I mean, it's just non-stop. That's why I said everybody, excuse me, as it stands right now, the way the left and powers that be are trying to shut shit down, you have a cell phone, everybody on this planet with a cell phone is basically a self-made journalist. You can't stop it. You can't stop this stuff from coming out. And as long as these phones, as long as this information is being recorded, I mean, there's only 2 ways to get rid of it. Number 1, AI takes over everything, or number 2, they just shut down the internet worldwide, and that'll never happen. So as long as that's not going to happen, this is the kind of stuff that people are not aware of, but it's out there. It's out there, people. I mean, I found it, and it blew my mind, but I just didn't know this came out 5 months ago. But it's so funny how I came across this trying to do research about the food stamps, and then I look at this, and it's just like, this is, I got to put it out. It's insane. It's insane. But anyway, remember, people, stay vigilant, keep praying for each other, keep praying for the women, for the children, for this country, for Donald Trump. Pray for your enemies, and I'm gonna say it again, stay vigilant. Peace.